Welcome back to Brands Hatch after Bennetts British Superbike Race 2 at round 6 of the championship, and back on the podium for the Lavelle Kent Honda Racing Team. It's Danny Kent. Danny, first podium in the dry as far as I'm aware, and that must feel good because everybody's always quite happy to say that, you know, the tricky conditions level the playing field, make it somewhat easier for certain riders that seem to have a bit of a skill in the wet, but to be able to back it up in the dry today must feel good. Talk us through it, because it was quite a battle at the front between you and Christian on the opening laps, and then it came down to the safety car, then it was a start again. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a big relief for me, getting our first podium in the dry. Like you said, both my podiums so far up till now was in wet weather, and I just wanted to prove that I'm fast in the dry as well. You know, me and the team have been working hard the last sort of 2 rounds. We made a big change at Snetterton, which I feel we made a good step with the bike, and coming here, I was really confident just because it's a track that I really get on well with, and Glenn did well on the Honda here last year as well, so I know the bike works well here. So no, I'm just really thrilled for me and the team. Yeah, the race was good. I got a mint start. Me and Christian passed a few times throughout the race, and then safety car came out, which then again I was a bit nervous because I've never been under them circumstances and leading. So yeah, after that I've been running the SE2 front tyre, which is the harder option, and sort of the first 2 laps after the safety car, my front tyre, I didn't have any confidence in the front end. But no, over the moon. Look at the data now, try and see what we can do look at the balance of my bike, see how much it changed during the race, and see if we can improve later on for the later race.
Thank you, and congratulations on the podium.
Thanks.
And back on the podium for the second time this weekend for Oxford Products Racing Ducati, it's Christian Idden. Christian, you started from pole position, got away at the front with Danny. There was a bit of a battle between the two of you, and then Tommy came. Talk us through the race and how you found it, because like Danny, that's podium in the wet and dry now this weekend.
Yeah, happy to get a double podium and happy to get a dry one. The pace that I was setting wasn't fantastic, but no one was coming flying past, so I figured, well, we'll just try and keep somewhere around that, because it was still like, that felt fast enough, but it wasn't what I expected the pace to be. And then, yeah, I could tell it was a different bike behind me, because when Tommy was behind, it pulls different in the slipstream. So yeah, he came past, and I figured just try and hang with Tommy, and he was riding really well, so I thought it might try and pull me away from the group, but I just made a couple of mistakes, had a few front enders, like front end warnings, and yeah, just dropped me back a little bit from Tommy, who just kept a pretty relentless pace, and all I had to do was try and race my lap timer and try and stay in front of the group, which we managed. So hopefully we can make a few little changes for the next race, because I felt all right, but not brilliant. But yeah, cool to get 2 podiums, and sort of back to somewhere where I feel like we should be, so it's all good.
Congratulations, Christian.
Thank you.
And back on the top step of the podium for Beer Monster Ducati, it's Tommy Bridwell. Tommy, that win extends your championship lead. You're first here at Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix circuit. Yesterday looked like a tough day, so maybe touch on that a little bit, but it must feel good to bounce back here and take a win in such strong form as well. You had to come through the pack as well to get to the front and then make that break, and it seemed like nobody could touch you at the end of the race.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't quite as relaxed or as easy as it sounds or maybe looked, but I know from years of racing here, and obviously now they've resurfaced a lot of the circuit, which is a really good job, but tyre life is a little bit more of a factor, which it always is here. So I knew patience was a key to that race, and that's really just how I rode. And there was one point where I thought, really, I want to start going, you know, I want to start getting towards the front. And I looked at my board and thought, God, bloody hell, I've still got you know, a lot of laps left, so just be patient. And then the safety car came out. And it can go 2 ways, the safety car, because the tyre's cool, the pressures are affected, and then normally when you then go back into racing mode, you can rip your tyre up hard. So I was conscious of trying to keep some temperature in my tyres, and it worked out wow. And then, to be honest, when the safety car came in, I thought, do you know what? I looked behind. I saw Leon, I saw Glenn, and obviously everyone else was all, you know, bunched up, obviously. And then I thought, I could do with just getting up to a position where I feel a bit more comfortable. Like Christian said, to be honest, he set a great pace at the race. It was obviously between him and Danny, and you know, between the pair of them, they had a bit of a ding-dong, and the pace was strong, actually, really strong. But felt I had a little bit in hand because of what we had done through practice. I think the hardest bit, weirdly, was through having good weather Friday, then really bad weather yesterday, and then good weather at the minute today hopefully stays. You kind of are, you know, a little bit mixed up, but yeah, chuffed, really chuffed with the way I was able to manage that race. Really chuffed to get a win here at Brands Hatch. I love the place, and I've not managed to win here. So now to get that first win, and in a way where I wouldn't say it was controllable, comfortable, but I was able to ride to my pit board. I don't feel too stressed, I must be honest. I felt I was riding hard. I was able to dip into the 25s when I needed to. And over the long race distance, that's quite, you know, quite strong. So, yeah, touching back on yesterday, it wasn't, do you know what? Yesterday wasn't as bad as it seemed. I was disappointed, of course, from getting pole in the wet, but then dropping to what is now 6th. But it was one of them rides where, without sounding disrespectful, the guys ahead of me at the moment aren't a direct championship threat. So I knew for me to go any faster or go any more, I was going to risk to crash. So yesterday was a damage limitation, and today was back to how I like to be able to ride. Credit to the Bennetts PBM Ducati team, because as always, they gave me a phenomenal package. We've got a lot of work to do, I feel, for the next race. Some changes I want to make, and then I think we can go a bit more.
And you mentioned just then that you've got some work to do between the races. Where do you feel like that's coming? Because that'll be bad news for the rest of your rivals, surely.
Just a bit of corner entry. For me is where I was suffering a bit. Honestly, when I got up to 1.8 seconds area over Christian, I thought, do you know what, Tom, just smooth on the exit. In just try and maintain your tyre. But yeah, corner entry for me, I was struggling a bit. And that's a massive part of my riding. So if I struggle on entry, it affects me quite a lot. So I feel like if we can really nail that, then I should be able to go, you know, quite a strong step forwards.
Brilliant, and congratulations on the podium.
Thank you very much.